Fans love touchdowns, quarterbacks, receivers, running backs. Sure, they get the headlines, but there's a part of the game that can change it all in seconds. Special teams. The men who run the ball back from the kickoff or punt the returners can flip momentum, break hearts, and even win games by themselves. 1 second, your team's celebrating. Next, your stadium is silenced. We're talking about players so dangerous, so unpredictable, that opposing coaches would rather face Tom Brady in his prime than let them touch the ball. Today, we're counting down the most feared returners in NFL history. These guys weren't just fast, they were playmakers, highlight machines, and nightmares for defenders. Let's get started. 1. Devin Hester, the undisputed king. Devin Hester didn't just run the ball back, he haunted opponents every Sunday. 20 career return touchdowns. That's a number defenders still shake their heads at. Kickoffs, punts, it didn't matter. He could strike from anywhere. Hester's vision, speed, and ability to change direction in a blink made him nearly impossible to tackle. Every team he faced had one fear: don't let Hester touch it. And more often than not, they failed. 2. Brian Mitchell, the yardage machine. Brian Mitchell piled up yards like no one else in NFL history. All-time leader in combined return yards and kickoff return yards. He wasn't flashy, but he was deadly consistent, flipping field position every game. Defenders never knew where he'd go next or when he'd break free. Mitchell made teams rethink their special teams strategy entirely. Every kickoff felt like a potential disaster for opponents. 3. Dante Hall, the human joystick. Dante Hall turned every return into a highlight reel. They called him the human joystick because defenders couldn't predict his moves. Jukes, spins, and sudden bursts of speed made him impossible to tackle. Multiple punt return touchdowns added to his legend. Every time he touched the ball, fans expected the impossible, and Hall rarely disappointed. 4. Eric Metcalf, the Swiss Army knife. Eric Metcalf could do it all: punts, kickoffs, and sometimes even catching passes. Explosive speed and vision made him a constant threat on special teams. Numerous return touchdowns proved his versatility and dominance. Metcalf forced opposing coordinators to plan specifically to stop him. He wasn't just a player, he was a tactical nightmare. Every game felt like a highlight waiting to happen. 5. Gale Sayers, lightning in leather. Gale Sayers scored 6 touchdowns in just 91 returns efficiency at its finest. Hall of Famer whose skill and speed made defenders fear the kickoff. Elusive cuts and fearless running defined every return. Even in a brutal era, Sayers could take it to the house from anywhere. He set the standard for what a returner could be. Defenders dreaded seeing him line up for a kick. 6. Desmond Howard, the Super Bowl MVP. Desmond Howard turned special teams into a championship-winning weapon. Super Bowl MVP for his electrifying return performance. Multiple return touchdowns showcased his elite vision and speed. He didn't just gain yards, he scored highlight reel points. Howard could single-handedly shift momentum on a kickoff or punt. Opposing teams had nightmares every time he touched the ball. 7. Billy White Shoes Johnson. The showman Billy Johnson brought flair and speed to the return game. Multiple punt return touchdowns made him an electrifying threat. Sideline to sideline jukes made defenders look foolish. He proved that personality and talent could be deadly together. White Shoes' creative style changed how fans watch special teams. Every game was a potential highlight reel. 8. Deion Sanders, Prime Time's returns. Deion Prime Time, Sanders terrorized opponents on defense and special teams. Return touchdowns were just another tool in his arsenal. Speed, agility, and unmatched flair made him unstoppable. He forced coverage teams to rethink every assignment. Sanders could change a game in a single play. Every kickoff or punt felt like a ticking time bomb for defenses. 9. Josh Cribbs, the Cleveland Dynamo. Josh Cribbs made kickoffs and punts feel like a lottery for opponents. Numerous return touchdowns showcased his explosiveness and vision. He kept coverage units constantly on edge. Cribbs' ability to break open returns made him a feared weapon. Opposing coaches had to adjust their entire strategy for him. Every time he touched the ball, something exciting was guaranteed. 10. Ollie Matson, the early legend. Ollie Matson dominated before highlight reels were common. Multiple return touchdowns proved his speed and toughness. He could score from almost anywhere on the field. Matson's skill set set the blueprint for modern returners. Defenders feared his combination of power and agility. Every kickoff or punt meant danger. 11. Mel Gray, the reliable rocket. Mel Gray consistently terrorized opposing teams on returns. 9 career return touchdowns and huge yardage totals. Defenders never knew when or where he'd break free. Gray's speed and vision made him a constant threat. Even when unnoticed, he flipped field position like clockwork. Every game, he demanded special attention. 12. Rick Upchurch, the Broncos Jet. Rick Upchurch had 8 punt return touchdowns with Denver. His quickness and agility made defenders look slow. Every time he touched the ball, explosive plays were expected. He was fearless in traffic, cutting and juking his way to big gains. Upchurch redefined what a punt returner could do. Opposing teams hated kicking to him. 13. Jacoby Jones, the big play threat. Jacoby Jones had a knack for game-changing plays. Super Bowl kickoff return touchdown cemented his legacy. Explosive speed and bold vision made him dangerous every snap. Opposing teams constantly planned for his presence. Jones could flip a game in a single return. Every kickoff felt like a moment of chaos waiting to happen. 14. Allen Rossum, versatile weapon. Allen Rossum racked up 9 return touchdowns in his career. He could handle punts, kickoffs, and occasionally the passing game. Rossum's speed and elusiveness made him a nightmare for defenders. He created highlight reel moments every season. Teams had to account for him on nearly every play. Versatility turned him into a constant threat. 15. Cordarrelle Patterson, the modern kick return. King Cordarrelle Patterson tied for the most kickoff return touchdowns in NFL history. Big, fast, and explosive, every return was a potential score. Patterson's vision and acceleration made defenders overcommit and fail. He could change momentum in an instant. Even today, he remains one of the most feared returners in the league. Every time he touches the ball, excitement follows. 16. Travis Williams. Dominant in 67, Travis Williams averaged 41.06 yards per return in 1967. One of the most dominant seasons in return history. Explosive, fearless, and nearly unstoppable. Williams' speed and vision made him a highlight reel before TV was even mainstream. Defenders had to respect his threat every kickoff. He made history in a single season. 17. Darian Gordon, the late 90s menace. Darian Gordon terrorized punt and kickoff coverage in the late 90s. High yardage and multiple touchdowns made him extremely dangerous. Explosive, smart, and fearless in traffic. Opposing teams had to game plan specifically for him. Gordon proved a returner could dominate the game's most overlooked phase. Every touch could flip a game in an instant. 18. Dave Meggett, the 90s punt king. Dave Meggett was elite in the 1990s as a punt returner. High yardage and multiple return touchdowns made him a constant threat. Defenders never relaxed when he lined up. Meggett had speed, vision, and toughness to make plays every game. He consistently flipped field position and momentum for his team. Meggett demanded attention every time he touched the ball. 19. Patrick Peterson, corner with flash. Patrick Peterson may be known as a cornerback, but his returns were dangerous. Punt return touchdowns and explosive plays showed his versatility. Speed, agility, and vision made him unpredictable. Peterson could change a game in a single play. Opposing teams had to plan for him in multiple ways. Even as a corner, he left his mark on special teams. 22. Tamarick Vanover, short but deadly. Tamarick Vanover's career was brief, but his returns were explosive. Multiple return touchdowns in a short span made him extremely feared. Fast, agile, and intelligent with the ball. Defenders constantly worried when he lined up. Vanover proved that even short careers can leave a lasting legacy. Every touch had potential to end in glory. From Devin Hester to Cordarrelle Patterson, from Gale Sayers to Victor Cruz, these men changed games in a single snap. They turned kicks and punts into highlight reel chaos. They made defenders terrified of the sound of the whistle. If you love this deep dive into NFL legends, hit like and subscribe for more stories from the gridiron. Drop a comment. Which returner made you jump out of your seat the most? Who do you think is the most feared in NFL history? Because in football, sometimes the game isn't won by quarterbacks or running backs. It's won by the guys in the shadows of special teams.